These are men who literally got nothing going on for themselves. So the only time that they do feel powerful on a weekly basis is by the DJ booth. And
nightlife industry is starting to shut down. It's mainly because men just don't feel like the risk is worth the reward anymore.
Why do these men start literally pushing us? But I kid you not, this man, 2 hands on,
3 children, shoving us out of the way.
To go upstairs, there are groups of grown men body checking, pushing women out of the way. Sorry to make it gendered, but you're a man and I'm a woman. Video titled Dating in DC, talking about how there are more women than men at the club, and that gives them this disproportionate advantage where they now kind of act and behave as if they're the prize. And a lot of people either agreed or said that I was male-centered, and I basically was like, okay, I will never talk about this on the internet again. And then I was scrolling on Posh and I came across this. So apparently this weekend there was this event called Women.
Now, you guys remember this? I did this video, I would say about 6 months ago, right? So ladies are feeling it. What's happening is they're making events towards men, trying to get men to come out. And men still aren't going out. Actually, men are starting to refuse to attend. Men are still going to some dating events. Usually they're like little hood spots. You see guys there wearing hats. It's kind of like a what do you call it? Like a concert, really. It's wild. But guys, that's what this video is going to be about. Let's get into it.
Well, let's talk about what I came here to talk about, which is this whole club life, or the club industry in general. It's just starting to really shut down here in DC. And there's a couple reasons why, and we're going to talk about it. Hold on, let me bump this up. All right, people. Reason number one that the nightlife industry is starting to shut down is mainly because men just don't feel like the risk is worth the reward anymore. You know, yeah, there are a few people who still go outside just out of pure boredom. But for the most part, when guys do the math, because we are logical creatures, once we do the math, we've all started to slowly but surely calculate that the risk just ain't worth the reward no more. You know what I'm saying? There's not a return on our investment for, you know, investing ourselves into getting some new clothes and spending our gas and then paying for parking. And then when we get outside, we get into these venues, we have to pay to get in, and then we're the ones buying all the drink. You get what I'm saying? You're doing all this investing into yourself, spending some money to get a return on what? Like, well, you just want to be able to say you did something, you wasn't at home. If that's the case, then yeah, you can go outside, but hey, you could also do that for free. You can just go outside and look at mistletoes, you know, in 26-degree weather for free. If you just
so you heard that. Guys are done with it. And shout out to my man, Cannon. I forgot the name, but I'm definitely gonna have your link in the description. He's a brother that's out in DC, and he's telling what guys are going through. Now, I'll let you know, right? You do have certain guys still going out to the clubs. You know, the guys that are the Chads, the alpha dudes that are over 6 feet, because that's what these ladies want, right? But they're still going out. But you know what's happening? These dudes that are going out could care less. They could care less about these ladies. You know, when there's certain club events, they're pushing ladies out the way, moving to the front. Ladies are complaining about that. Watch this.
I didn't want to do this, but I saw another girly post about it, and I was like, you know what? She's so right. Like, let's have a conversation about it. So, first function of like the spring summer here in DC, literally everyone and their mom was like, let's go party. I went out with my homegirl last night, and like I really like their events, so I was excited to go. It was also my birthday weekend. There was this event hosted at Arlo last night. Arlo is a hotel and it has a rooftop. So I didn't go like at the beginning. I probably came like halfway through the event, but like I had a ticket, so I wasn't that worried. I get to the lobby
It is wall-to-wall people trying to get into the elevators just to go to the rooftop. I get in the line because there is a man screaming, hey, if you don't have a ticket, you can't come upstairs. So I'm like, let me get myself in line because I have a ticket. I'm in line waiting to go upstairs. There are groups of grown men. DC men, come to the front because this is for you. Groups of grown men body checking, pushing women out of the way to get into the elevator to go upstairs to the function. Not even inside the function yet, just to get upstairs to the function. Now, I don't know, like, I thought we all had some common sense. Like, it's never that serious that you need to be putting yourself and others in harm's way just to get into a function. Like, you're screaming about how you have tables and you need to take that up with the organizer. You should not be body checking the elevator girl to get upstairs and pushing all of us who also bought tickets just to get upstairs. Mind you, sorry to make it gendered, but you're a man and I'm a woman.
Welcome to the new world.
And you're physically being aggressive towards me just to get into an elevator to go upstairs to a party. Who you flexing on? Because I'm a woman and I'm downstairs. I'm not upstairs. That means that all the men are upstairs. So you flexing on each other? I don't know. Again, really, I just like what she was saying in her video. I just think, you know, we all need to be a little bit more aware, have some self-awareness. Because even when I got upstairs and I was in the function, like, all the girls, wonderful vibes, great vibes. Like, people I knew, people I didn't know, it was all love. But the men in the function, even when I got upstairs and inside, like, just horrible vibes, so aggressive, so rude, so just like off-putting. And in a way that I haven't experienced in a very long time, and it was majority of them. So this was just my little PSA that it is never that serious. Let's hold ourselves accountable. And men, if you see other men acting like this at functions, please hold them accountable. Like, hold your own accountable as well. It should not just be us holding these men accountable. That's it. Let's all have a fun summer, okay?
All right. So what the problem is they want all of the guys that are 6 feet. They want the guys that are aggressive, but these men don't see value in you. These guys get all of the ladies anyway. To these guys, she's a 2. I bet you guys, you know that look when a girl is just fine. They would have been like, they would have been, you know, ushering her in. She doesn't fit the bill, so she must pay the bill. That's what's happening. Guys are not going. She doesn't fit the bill, so they're starting to make ladies pay the bill, right? And they're mad about it.
I feel like the problem with the party scene in DC is that it's no longer catering to women. It's catering to men because the men are the ones that buy the bottles. Life is better when, like, women were free all night. Men bought drinks for the women. Now it's catered to the men because the men are the people that are going to spend the money. When in actuality, if you make sure that the women have a good time, you will make money. When I get lit, I'm buying everybody shots. Everybody, let's get around. Everybody get around. It's just like now everybody's like, oh, section this, section that. That's why y'all need to come start partying with me and Afro Code. If you follow my main, you know, like, yeah. But if you're in DC and you want to go out, literally just DM me and I'll...
Groups of grown men body checking, pushing women out of the way.
So the girlies are talking about how guys are shoving women out of the way so they can get on stage, get behind the DJ booth, all of that. As a DMB girly,
Look at this. Why 3 tall, 6'5" men? That's what you want, ladies. Don't they say that all the time? I want a man 6'5", 6'6" on the dating apps, right? Who's the man? What do ladies mostly request on the internet? The man gotta be 6'5", chiseled jaw. They're there. All of those men are there. Look, why 3 tall, 6'5" men push past me and my friends to be right behind the DJ and just stand there. They used to go to war. No, ladies, they're at war. Right? Because they're on the front lines with you. Be happy. At least they're there. All the men you want are there. Don't complain.
Myself, really living in Chicago, I've noticed that that's something that happens here too. Maybe not to that level, but anytime that we have any celebrity come into town, let it be a male Nigerian singer, Davido. When Davido was here, the amount of groupie men that were all around him. When Ashake was here, groupie men. I'm talking about case, a mortgage, 3 children, shoving us out of the way so they can scream Davido, Davido. So they can scream in his face, scream in Burna Boy's. Like, some of these men are groupies now, baby. And I guess that's showing up in regular club life, not even just when celebrities are there, but the DMV girlies are saying they're doing that on the regular. That's wild.
So I finally went to the controversial sold out dates party at Park, and this is how it was. So initially I went for the brunch and I ended up staying, and it was the sold out dates party. I'm like, okay, cool. Finally see the hype. So after further investigation, the problem is the men. Why was so we were on like the 3rd floor. We were on the 3rd floor. It's my first time ever being in a park and ever going to a sold out dates party, so completely unbiased. We were on the 3rd floor, I think. It was like a section or whatever. So I guess like the men, I guess they wanted to like, they wanted some more space for themselves. Why do these men start literally pushing us? I was on the outside, so I didn't necessarily got pushed, but I kid you not, this man, 2 hands on, pushing my homegirl out the section. Like, she's like 4'11". I'm like, is this who we are? Is this what life has come to? And I think it was either like Rebel Events or the Noobs or both. That was it. I was standing there looking like, is this who we are? This is what this recession has brought out of us? So yeah, it's the men that are the problems, and this is why I only go to my parties, and I will not never again.
They're there with the guys they want, and the guys they want are manhandling you. These are the guys that play basketball, right? 6'5". They play basketball. They play football. You want aggressive men. Where are the men? They're with you. Not many of them, right? Might I add. So they get to pick of the litter as well. And you wonder why. See, this is why guys don't go. The regular guys aren't in the club. They think it's all men. These are all the men they take in turns screwing, and they think it's all of us. Let my man finish explaining what this is all about.
Are we really going outside? No. DC is literally going through a financial exhaustion right now. You know, one of the least things on people's minds is adding to that by going to a bar, going to an event, and having to spend $20 to $40 on a cocktail, you know, and then another $30-$40 on eating, and basically $100 guaranteed you're going to spend just to go outside, you know. And then not to mention, we just went through a whole federal shutdown where a lot of us, including me, weren't getting paid for like 2 months. You know, it's a lot going on. People trying to bounce back, and then you got people who are still trying to throw events, and it's like, why go to these events when people just want to survive right now? And then on top of that, even if it was warm outside, people don't want to go outside and deal with people who don't even like them but want to use them for their money. It's just a very toxic environment in general when it comes to trying to be in the dating scene or be outside and in general. And you know what? It's not only just the whole financial burdens and issues that's going on out here. A lot of people just simply don't want to deal with the foolishness that comes with being outside in certain types of environments out here in DC. For example, you know, DC does not have the best reputation when it comes to how to deal with crime. I mean, even our president has a lot of like National Guard people out here supposedly trying to bring the crime down, but in reality, a lot of people don't have anything to do with actually causing the crime. And in actual reality, people are just feeling uncomfortable because they're feeling targeted for no reason, because they might look like the typical person that commits crime out here, but they're not. So people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to be outside coming in contact with that when they don't have to. When they could easily just hang out with friends, go to a house party or something like that, just in general. So That's another thing we gotta take into accountability of why people are not outside like that anymore and why the club industry is really just dying out here in DC. And just because of that last fact I told you guys alone, there are being reported a 30% drop from a lot of the clubs in this area, 30% drop in sales in general, just because people don't want to be outside and be profiled at night or have the potential to be profiled while they're trying to go out and have a good time. That is pretty serious. Not only do people want to avoid being profiled, but they really want to avoid the political.
I'm going to keep it short because this brother, he goes into long detail about this, but that's one of some of the many reasons men are saying no. Like, as he explained, the government shutdown happened. I made videos about this with society happening, right? Guys don't want to spend $20 on a cocktail and then spend $50 on parking. The whole thing is not only that you ladies are playing games, it's society. People can't find jobs, right? Now, you think guys aren't going through that too? They are. But what are guys doing? Guys are saying dating is too expensive. That's why I make the videos I make. You guys see the videos I'm making? That explains the whole date market. And men are saying it's cheaper to pay to play. That's why I just made that video, because that's what guys would rather do. Why spend that money out to go out to a nightclub when you're wasting money because you spend $20 on a drink, you want to get drunk, $20 another drink, $20 another drink. You could have got a bottle, and I don't second this. I don't champion this, and got a prostitute and got your rocks off. It's gotten that bad. Satan is involved in all of it, because when men are thinking, okay, that's why I say this is the way, right? Instead of doing that, go overseas.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Rose tinted dreams, wrinkle silk on my knees. I don't see no
Easy because the prices is crazy. I done seen two people. One.
And while we talking about 12 stories at the wharf, let's talk about STFU at Navy Yard, because their drinks start at $25, maybe $24. They just recently implemented a happy hour because I assume that they realized people were catching on, and ain't nobody going there for no $25 drink. And by $25 drink, shot or even a lemon drop or a Moscow Mule, whatever, drinks starting at $25 at a speakeasy is wild and crazy business. And look, somebody said this in the comments, until we actually order a drink and then we're presented with the cost of the drink and say, nah, that's okay, give it back, these prices are going to continue. Meanwhile, you can go uptown to Ben's next door and the drinks are not $20. But beyond the drinks being $20, at the wharf specifically, you got to pay $30 to park. Can we boycott the parking garages in DC? Because what? Let's start a conversation about that.
Well, no, it's not boycotting them, all right? You can't boycott these places because they're businesses. Stop going. That's what it is. You know, I think people really need to reflect on things they can do to make some extra income. That's women and men, right? We all need to do that. We all need to figure things out and say, how can I make some extra scratch? That's why I see a lot of guys are starting to go on YouTube. They're starting to do affiliate marketing. A lot of guys are starting to do many different things because you have to. You can't rely on one income. It's wild because even the man above tells you that. And I said it before. If you go to Ecclesiastes 11:2, he tells you to have 7 or 8 different things because you never know what evil may come upon our earth. So the man above, the God, he always knew. He always knew. I got to say God because people say, the universe. No, not the universe, God. God always knew these problems. He even talks about modern women before it happened. You guys see it all the time. There were women like that then too. there was always modern women. Even back in the days when Paul and Jesus running around, you had modern women. Look, it's in the Bible. So that means there definitely was always modern women.
To say might seem a little far-fetched to some, but it does make a little bit of sense to me. I've been seeing a lot of videos around DMV culture and the nightlife and just how the men have become more aggressive and the men don't really seem respectful towards women, blah, blah, blah. Bum rushing the DJ booth. Yeah. And what I've noticed in the comments a lot is like the girls saying like, why do they be doing that? Why do they bum rush the DJ booth? Blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you why. This is my theory. Men who do not have access to a certain level of power, control, influence, authority on a day-to-day basis, that is the closest that they're going to get.
I had to pause right there. Because you know what they're not realizing? The men who are not the pick of the litter aren't going. That's why the numbers are down in the first place. The guys that are there don't care. A lot of ladies know it. That's why they say men here don't care. Men here don't care. The girl said I'm 4'11", a guy probably 6'5". What they're like, so could you imagine how she flew? And I know I'm laughing a lot. And the reason I'm laughing a lot, not to be mean, men always knew this was going to happen. Winter is here. This is winter. You see when a guy with the hood on, right, walking the streets, regular guy too, everyday man like the brothers, like me, like the brother watching, right? He's telling why, and it's a lot of it's because of you ladies, but also it's the economy. So don't you think it would be better for men to do what men are doing, right? The reason men are not dating is not always because of you. It's also because of the economy. Men are banking their money. Men are saving. Men would rather play 2K. Men are waiting for the new Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out, right? Men are doing certain things. Me, actually, I don't do those things, right? Because I'd rather spend time doing YouTube, studying the word, hang with my wife, hang with my family. There's definitely more to life than going to the club. And a lot of guys are starting to wake up.
To feeling, not even, they're close enough to power. Because let's be honest, nightlife, the DJ runs it. These are men who are not in rooms where decisions are being made. These are men that are not in rooms where, the movers and shakers are in. These are men who literally got nothing going on for themselves. So the only time that they do feel powerful on a weekly basis is by the DJ booth. And that is why they bum rush the DJ booth. They push women down, they push men down just to have a sense of a little bit of power. Because let me tell you something. If you have access to authority, to power, to influence on a day-to-day basis, you don't need to be around them all the time. Finish your set, I'm seeing you in the back. But they don't have that. It's also along the lines of when men say, have you seen how women act around men with money? And really it's, have you seen how men act around men with money? It's the same way. Have you seen how men act around men with power and influence? One more thing I really want to add is stop equating a man's looks to his value. Stop assuming that because a man looks good, he's tall, he's fine, he's all that stuff, that somehow he's doing well in life. There are a lot of good-looking bums out there, ladies. Lots of them.
See, she just tried to throw dirt on men's names. It's a club. What are they doing at a club to impair their judgment? They're drinking, right? What comes out when you're drinking? Why men would push a 4'11" girl like this? They call it the spirits. Who created alcohol in a negative way? Satan himself. Who controls music? Satan himself was the grand architect of all music, right? So understand what's happening in the nightclub. So she's bashing men. It's not the men. Of course, they're fans as well, right? Men are fans just like you ladies are fans. So they see you as a normal person. And really, because of feminism, you ladies are normal people. We can't treat you like queens. You don't want that.
Part 2 of how we got thrown out of Air Bar and Lounge in Washington, D.C. while we were sitting directly next to Neo. I mean, like, our table was directly next to Neo, and it's because of my cousin.
Because we were some bad bitches.
She's saying because we were some bad bees. No. All right.
That's why we were sitting next to him.
So that is why.
Next to him.
Okay, that is why they put us next
because
to him.
Because out of all the hoes that was there.
Yes.
All
okay.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Part 2.
Okay.
So we got bottle service. It was really affordable. It was like 5 of us, and the table was only like 5 something, maybe $600. So it was really affordable, right? Especially to see Neo, it was really affordable. So we in there, and it's a vibe, y'all. It's a whole vibe. Like my cousin, it's a vibe. Like I'm gonna insert a video. Like she was a vibe. Like she had the cheetah pants on. Like she was a. It was a vibe, right?
Better than all them hoes.
She looked better than everybody in there, right? A whole vibe. Like everything was going great. Now, Neo did not come until 1 o'clock in the morning. Or after 1 o'clock in the morning. He came really late. And they put him at the top floor in VIP. And we were sitting like right next to him in VIP. So they went to Neo start performing. They started like blocking off. They started like blocking people from like coming and going. Now I had walked out to go get 2 of my other friends that came there late. So we're trying to get back into the section. They would not let us back into our section. Because we walked like because Neo was performing. We don't know how this girl got to and from, but she somehow got back into the section. By the time we got back over to the section, she was going off. And they was putting her out. And we like, listen, at this point we just leaving. We don't even care why they putting her out. We just leaving. We didn't even want to. We just getting up out of there because I don't want to get arrested. Like we get up out of there. Y'all putting us out. We get up out of there. And she was saying, "Woe was her. Her." Come to find out, they put her out because she was pushing through the crowd. The men was Neo security was aggressive. They called her out her name, but she was the one being pushed in and out the freaking section. She was going in and out, and in and out. And in and out the section, and they tried to stop her. She wasn't willing to be stopped. So I think she got into it with one of the shorter security guards. And she proceeded to call this man every short name in the book. And they put her out. And then we had to ride, and we had to leave too. So that's why we got put out, and we were sitting directly next to freaking Neo. Directly next to Neo.
First of all, Shotty in the background singing like, shut the all beat and everything. Sound like a screeching baby billy goat. But I don't know, man. Every time I done seen a couple videos of this spot out there in DC, and it just don't look fun. Like that's what y'all call fun. Every time I see videos of that spot, like I don't know, bro. Like I'm sure y'all paying a grip to get up in there, and y'all folks just standing around. Like I don't know. Maybe it's been a long time since I've been on the scene. You feel me? But like that's what y'all call fun. Nobody dancing, nobody really interacting and engaging with each other. You don't get to play that song Lovers and Friends #1 and lights are on everywhere. Ain't nobody slow down, ain't nobody freak nicking and dancing and get like what? I don't know, maybe I'm still thinking like it's the early like 2010s and 2000. I don't know. I don't know. That entire crowd, I maybe saw 1 or 2 people just off rip trying to dance. Like engaging with each other, like not with their homegirls or homeboys. Like in another video I seen in that same spot, they were playing songs and it's just like everybody dancing in their own little pockets with their people. I don't know. I thought the point of the club was go out, engage, socialize with people. I don't know. But there's no way I would waste all this money to get fly, you know what I'm saying,
get drinks, get up in the spot, all that, just to like, I don't know, bro. In this economy, that's what y'all paying for? Wow. Like, dog, you play that song back then, and the lights all dim, everybody's, bro, I'm behind the shawty with all up in her ear, whispering sweet nothings. You know what I'm saying? You get behind her, get in that little booty cheek pocket, push that meat up in let me stop. Let me stop, bro.
Okay, guys, I swear he has 2 more weeks. Is she tracking this man? Oh my gosh, she is. What are those positives? Made me happy. What is she checking? Slow replies. I don't even know. It's just an idea. Don't get mad, little boys, because if you treat your girls well, nothing bad is going to happen. Oh my god, this is why men don't date.
Run, bitch! Run!
Somebody said, if you have to do this, he is definitely not the one. No, and also, you should probably work on yourself if you feel inclined to do this. Somebody said, crazy how love is turned into a checklist.
Hold the line.